Hi, Burgess.
Hi.
I'm wondering if you can answer about calling Marxist socialists an enemy of the country, and that you talked about the need to get Republicans back in control of Congress to deal with that. What do you want to see the government do to deal with this group that you're labeling an enemy?
Well, first of all, let's start off with who our enemy is. Karl Marx said very clearly the first battleground, this is the Marxist founder, is rewriting of history. There's a very stealth in terms of how they have dealt with this. I came from a community where I saw firsthand how this works. I came from a community in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the black community, because we believed in the tenets I talked about, education, God, industry, and family, led our country in the growth of the middle class, led our country in men matriculating from college, led our country in the percentage of entrepreneurs and business ownership, 40%. I watched that happen, and I experienced it. I lived it, and I watched it turn upside down because we did not identify the enemy. Enemy was those that live within us, the elitists, the Marxists and the socialists, that for years changed our economy around, made laws so that it's very difficult to get out of poverty, and decreasing the middle class and increasing the elitist class. I think if we're going to win this battle, we have to first of all recognize we are in a battle. We as a country, we have a tendency as Americans, because we're eternal optimists. We have this tendency of going to sleep at the wheel because we're dreaming about our dreams, our future, our kids, our retirement. And what we forget is that there's evil at the door at every single time. This is a Judeo-Christian valued country. It's a country that's nothing like it in the history of mankind because we believe in a God. We believe in looking at each other inside out, not outside in. And because we are such a country, we will have an enemy at our door. Sometimes it takes a 9/11 or a Pearl Harbor for us to wake up. In this case, he has taken this virus. Americans across the board, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans are recognizing now what tyrannical government looks like. When we dictated that we cannot open up our businesses, we can't go to church, they're going to tell us which ones are important, which are essential. I'm a Christian. My faith is essential. I don't wait for the governor to tell me that I cannot do that. So this is a conversation we need to have. We need to be honest, guys. I mean, it's nice to be nice. As I mentioned before, I'm the only Republican in my household, in my family's, my brothers and sisters. We love each other. We'll debate all day long, but we have the same end game. How can we make sure our kids' future is better? How can we make sure our debt is low? How can we make sure our kids are educated? The left doesn't think that way. I want to make a point because you have to understand what evil looks like. 75% of the black boys in the state of California cannot pass standard reading and writing tests. This is 2017. That's a democratic state. Where's the highest abortion? Where did we find out this last go around where the most COVID, particularly in the nursing homes, where deaths were? We have an ideology that's godless, and if it's godless, it's totally against our way. So let's be honest about the conversation. If we know that's the enemy, then we know we have to work harder to get more patriots in Congress who believe in our country, believe in the Constitution, believe in each other, and then we can overcome. Matter of fact, I believe if we did that, the Democratic Party will begin to eliminate the leftists that's right now controlling them. They love power, and if they cannot get that power back, they're going to make changes to be part of sitting at the table at the end of the day. But we cannot negotiate with people who hate our nation. Yes.
Well, if I could follow up, what exactly does that entail doing in Congress if Republican conservatives who also view people with certain viewpoints as an enemy, what do you do about that enemy
Well, no, what we do is we educate
specifically?
the American people. My platform is is one that brings Americans together. It brings Democrats, independents, and Republicans together. When I talk about the leftists and Marxists, I'm not talking about good democratic people. We have Democrats who love our country as much as I do. We're talking about the leadership that uses misery as a political strategy. So what we have to do is have this conversation and have we, the people, put in place patriots in the Congress that can start to have these conversations like we're having right now. As long as we act as if they don't exist, we're not going to get the control in the House we need to actually follow the lead of a president that's a true patriot. We have such a special window, and I'm speaking from a black American who's for 60 years, for 6 decades, have watched a community put in misery, and everybody's making promises, but nobody does anything about it. If we were to educate the American people. We'll have a freshman class that comes in that'll be patriots like our president is, not there to be a career politician, not there to get a lobbyist job one day, there to make a difference, to get our country back. That freshman class will partner up with a Senate that's in control, with a president who's the greatest anti-bully person I've ever seen, and we'll get things accomplished. So it really is we the people rising to put the right people in that truly love our country, and therefore having a chance to put the policies in place. And that could be everything from a balanced budget. It could be things to cross-board education, make sure that's done in a better way. Healthcare, all those things that's been held hostage by the leftists, we can begin to do things with people that are patriots on both sides of the aisle, true patriots. I'm a guy who looked at films after the football game and always saw the mistakes I made. And I saw them when I was making them. No, I think I did well, though, in one way. You're hearing from somebody who's a patriot. I've never been a politician, have never thought about being a politician. For 25 years, I was a corporate sales rep. My first one was WordPerfect. My last one was Motorola as a national account rep. I've been an entrepreneur for 40 years, up until I decided to make this run. I run a non-for-profit called Second Chance for Youth. I've done a lot of things. I've never been a politician. So this is my first debate. And what I'm hoping is that people will see is there's a passion for my country. There's an experience that I've had seeing a great culture, a great community turned upside down, still in misery, and I know the reason why. What we're seeing today on these streets, I've been talking about it for the last 4 or 5 years. Every chance I get on Fox, I say we're fighting for the heart and soul of our nation. Well, guys, you know what the heart and soul of our nation really is? It's we the people. It's the middle class. It's those who have the empathy, the charity, the service, the risk-taking attitudes, and they want to be as nice as they can be so their customer comes back. There's nothing like that. That's the magnet that draws people to this country. Not the elitists, not the poor, it's the middle class. We've had the most robust middle class in the history of mankind. And that middle class was growing even more so at the beginning of this year. Just think about this. After all the misery I've watched over the last 5 decades, for the first time, we had the lowest unemployment for blacks, Hispanics, Asians, women, veterans, teens. This is really remarkable, this one here. In 2 years, we had over 40% increase in business ownership, black business ownership. That says there are people that are getting hopeful again. They're taking a risk. They have the income to make some things happen. And they're going to take that investment of time and space in their business and pass that legacy down to their kids. That's what we're fighting against and fighting for. So what I'm hoping is that when people listen to my conversation, one thing I did learn how to do, I was a biology major, a chemistry minor. I know how to work. I know how to study. Those things that I need to understand with politics and politicians are a dime a dozen. We've seen them come and go. The reason why we're in where we are right now is because of politics and politicians. We need to find patriots. You know what makes President Trump so unique, so different? He is a different cut altogether. He loves our country. He's willing to do it for free. He's willing to take the heat for those within our party and those outside our party because he loves our country first. Just imagine what would happen. We get a freshman group, I'm gonna call them the SEAL team, that come in and they feel the exact same way our president does. They're not playing games. They're not trying to load bills in with all kind of slush stuff because their friends might want to have it. They're there to make a difference because they see what it looks like to love our country as leaders. We haven't seen this since Reagan, in my case. So I'm excited about being part of this freshman class across the country. Matter of fact, I'm already talking with for many of them. We're going to hold ourselves to a commitment to make sure our country moves forward. Give us a chance to do that. I made a promise a few years back. I was talking on Fox, Stuart Varney. I said, America, elect our president. Elect President Trump, or candidate Trump. Give us 4 years, and I promise you, we're going to be rolling up our sleeves, going to these communities, and teaching these kids what they've not been taught before. Teach these kids that America is a place of second chances, that they can make it here by working hard, by being honest, by committing to a family, and doing the things that you have to do to make things work. Give us 4 years. Guess what America did? They gave us 4 years. And I mentioned where we were at the beginning of this year. Nothing like it in the history of our country. I say this, give us another 4 years. Let us get back to house. Put patriots in there, not those who don't understand our enemy. Our enemy understands us, and they have a long game. While we're playing checkers, they play chess. They progressively want to steal our freedoms, dissolve our Constitution, take away our rights, because they think they're the North Star. So if we have an opportunity to get us in office. And let's start off here. By the way, one other point. This state, District 4, is between 1 and 3 of the must-have of both sides of the aisle. The Democrats must have to keep their power. Republicans must have it to get back our country. How neat is it that this district, of all the time in the history of mankind, is truly the linchpin for the rest of our country? As we win here, our nation wins. As our nation wins, our president wins, and our Senate wins. And at the end of the day, another 4 years from now, America wins big time. So let's take this opportunity. Don't send another politician. Send a patriot who's going to fight for the right that we move our country forward, all of us together. In the process of doing that, I think we'll do really well.